Hi, I'm Beverly, and welcome back to the Caregivers Table. I'm so glad you're here. If you're caring for a loved one, a parent, a spouse, a child, or even a friend, this space is for you. Each week, I share a few minutes of encouragement, a simple tip, stories from my own caregiving journey, and the honest truth about caregiving that people don't always say out loud. And through it all, a gentle reminder, you don't have to walk this road alone. So take a breath, settle in, and let's spend a little time together at the Caregivers Table. Today, we're talking about something caregivers often struggle with, finding the courage to speak up. Whether it's challenging a care plan that doesn't feel right, or asking questions at medical appointments, or communicating your needs to family members without guilt. Advocacy is one of the hardest parts of caregiving, but it's also one of the most important. Today, we're going to walk through how to find your voice, even when your heart feels shaky. I want to start with a moment from my caregiving journey with Phil. There was a time when a doctor recommended a change to his medication. Something that just didn't sit right with me. I knew Phil's rhythms, his reactions, his pain patterns. I knew what worked and what didn't. But I also knew how intimidating it can feel to question a medical professional. Phil reached out, feeling for my arm the way he always did. And then he said, "Beverly, what do you think?" He couldn't see my expression, but he could hear the hesitation in my voice. And in that moment, I realized I was allowed to speak up. I was allowed to ask questions. I was allowed to advocate for the person that I love so much. I did. I asked for clarifications. I asked about the side effects. I asked if there were any alternatives or if this change was even necessary. And you know what? The doctor, he paused, he listened, and agreed that the change wasn't necessary at this time. The moment taught me something. Advocacy isn't confrontation. It's protection, and it's love in action. It's what we as caregivers need to allow ourselves to do, to advocate for the ones we love. As caregivers, we often silence ourselves. We don't want to seem difficult because we don't want to offend a doctor. We don't want to upset family. We don't want to appear emotional. We don't want to be judged. But the truth is, our voice is part of the care plan. Your observations are data. Your instincts are wisdom. Your questions, they are necessary. Speaking up does not make you demanding. It makes you responsible. I've been learning this again with my mom. Her confusion has increased, and during one appointment, the doctor spoke directly to her, even though she couldn't fully understand what was being asked. I felt that familiar hesitation rise up, the "I don't want to interrupt" feeling. But I stepped in gently and said, "She's having more confusion lately. Let me help answer." It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't confrontational. It was simply being an advocate. And afterwards, I realized how often caregivers shrink themselves to keep the peace, even when speaking up would bring clarity, safety, and better care. If you've ever felt guilty for asking questions, if you've ever felt more nervous about challenging a care plan, if you've ever felt afraid to tell family members what you need, you're not alone. Caregivers are conditioned to be agreeable, flexible, and accommodating. But advocacy is not selfish, it's essential. And hear this, you are allowed to ask doctors to slow down, Request explanations in plain language. Say, I'm not comfortable with that. Tell family I need help. Tell them I cannot do this alone. Your voice matters. Your perspective matters. And your needs, they matter. A scripture verse that speaks to my heart on this is Proverbs 31:8, and it says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves." This includes your loved ones. This includes your family. And this includes you. God, He does not ask you to stay silent. He equips you with courage, clarity, and strength to advocate for grace. You are not speaking alone. He's there, standing with you in every appointment, every conversation, and every decision that needs to be made. Here is something to try before any appointment or family conversation. Prepare these 3 sentences. What you've noticed. I've noticed a change in what you're concerned about. I'm concerned that. What you need. I need us to consider. These 3 sentences help you speak clearly, calmly, and confidently, without guilt, without apology, and without losing your voice. If you've been quiet for too long, it's okay. If you've been afraid to speak up, it's understandable. If you've been carrying everything alone, you are stronger than you know. But you deserve support. You deserve clarity. You deserve to be heard. Your voice is not a disruption. It is a gift to the person you care for. Take a breath, take courage, and remember, your advocacy is part of the healing. Before we close, I want to remind you of this. You are not meant to carry every part of this journey. You are not meant to hold every fear, every emotion, every outcome. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to let God carry what is too heavy for you. You are doing emotionally hard work, but you are not doing it alone. Thank you for joining me today. I hope something you heard gave you strength for the next step in your journey. Remember, you are doing meaningful work even when no one sees it, and you are not alone. If you'd like to connect or share your caregiving story, you can find me in the Caregivers Gathering Place of Hope on Facebook, a community where you do not have to pretend to be strong all the time. And if you'd like more encouragement, my cookbook on Amazon, Comfort and Care, a caregiver's cookbook, offers both easy recipes and everyday hope. If a part of this episode spoke to you today, I would love to hear from you. Please email me at thecaregiverstable@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time at The Caregivers Table.